Good morning for the Book Walkers Club. It seems like many of you are watching it later, and hopefully you're getting your walks in. I'm Renee Baribeau, the practical shaman and the author of A Pilgrim's Guide to Walking Wisdom. I got the most amazing review today from the Red Hen. I think she calls herself the Red Hen book reviewer. Sensational, poignant, and informative. Wow. I found myself reading A Pilgrim's Guide to Walking Wisdom at an alarming rate because it was captivating as well as engrossing. Renee's remarkable literature will have you turning the pages at an alarming rate, and I adored how she was able to do this. What a nice review that was. For those of you who are wanting to become authors and publish your book, self-publish, or get a publisher, there's one of the ways you propel your book forward is by getting reviews. And so that was not every reviewer, because everyone from Instagram to TikTok wrote me and said, "Oh, let me review your book." Hey, Geraldine. But this particular reviewer is pretty well known, and she does a really great job. So I took it to heart. Well, I'm going to start with a reading from the Insight 3, Preparation is Key. And then I'll talk a little bit about my experience with the preparation. And then I'll stop the recording and opening it up to you to find out how you're doing on this Insight walking. It is not the map that should make sense of the land, but the land that will make a map for us. Tristan Gooley. And he's an author that I found and used his quote with permission. A lot of times people, when they self-publish books, you'll notice that they have all these quotes in there and they have no permission to use them. Even my Mary Oliver quote, I got permission to use. Preparation helps pilgrims assemble the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual tools necessary for the transformational journey ahead of them. Beyond the physical act of packing, we customarily do before we travel for work or go on vacation, making a pilgrimage requires us to explore the story living inside us. Specifically, we ask, what is the wind propelling me to experience? When I was writing my book, Winds of Spirit, each myth about a wind god or goddess, the text I uncovered led to the next, helping me fulfill my purpose as an author. I followed the scattered pebbles of wisdom blown to me by the wind for years, as if assembling pieces of an ancient puzzle. In that process, the wind itself propelled me, helping me construct the puzzle of ancient knowledge, much like the wind propelled ancient sailing ships towards new shores. And so for me, this idea of that I thought last year I was going on a journey, and I was actually waiting for an email from a trip to Greece. But before the email from the trip to Greece came, literally 2 days, this other email came about the trip to the Camino. And I immediately wrote back to her and said, "Hey, I might be in." And 2 days later, when the Greece trip came, I'm there, "Oh, but I really wanted to go to Greece, and I wasn't going to do both." So sometimes I think that Spirit prepares us for the pilgrimage and the journey before we're even knowing. And I just have to tell you the truth about something. I'll never show up here and lie, because that's just not my nature. Last night I was trying to force myself to take a walk, and I couldn't. I found myself this week really rather, after yesterday, I found myself a little bit distressed. And last night when I was sitting in the jacuzzi, I was really thinking to myself about this whole idea about preparation. Have I prepared for 30 years as a shaman, as a teacher, as a spiritual leader? Now I'm thinking, well, I'm close to my time when I can really retire from my corporate job. And And instead of looking forward to like this time of gardening and being in my nature and being able to flow freely, we're standing as a society at a crossroad of, do we want to shut up and go sit in our jacuzzi and say nothing? Or, do we want to fight, or do we want to, was all of my spiritual warrior training preparing me for this time in nature where we're standing at the thresholds of not being able to get along? And I don't know, I was really distracted by it. And so I'm promising myself that today I'm going to take a longer walk right after this call, and I'm going to have a massage. And really, I need to find my way back to my center through walking, because I'm allowing myself, and I've never done this ever before in my life, to be so distracted by distracting news that I can't find. I'm wobbling. I'm wobbling. And as a spiritual leader, being in a place where I'm wobbling makes me feel like that I've either done something wrong, or I'm not getting something right, or I'm not prepared. So today's topic is about, how do we prepare? And so we have our worksheets, and I'm gonna turn off this, and I don't want this to become, a political bantering, but because I'm talking about as a deep spiritual preparation. Am I prepared for these times? Okay, that's enough from me.